Hey guys, Sheik the Geek here, with another, video game tutorial. This one's going to relate to Roll Company. As you can see here, I'm already in the game. I've kind of found an easy way to do this one mission that we have for our weekly missions that I know a lot of people have issues with. I'll go to contracts. Thank you. This one right here, the week one, weekly mission 5 out of 6. There's one more after this one. This is the one I'm sure a lot of people are going to get stuck on. It takes a very long time to do if you can do it at all. Is earn downs with your primary, secondary, melee, gadget, and ability in 10 different matches. This mission is hard because not every character can actually do this mission. That's something that a lot of people who do guides for Roll Company don't mention, is that not every character can actually even do this mission. This weekly mission is only designed for a few characters in the game. A very small handful of characters can actually complete this. Some can do it. It might be a little bit more difficult, but they can still do it. Other ones can't do it at all. The main hangup is that you need to play a character with a gadget that can actually do damage and down people. And your character also needs to have an ability that can actually do damage and down people. And believe it or not, there are actually not that many characters in the game that can actually do both of these. The other three are fairly simple and straightforward and easy enough to do, but these two are the hard ones. So that's like 5 conditions you have to, 5 conditions your character has to be able to fulfill. And 2 of them are they're all mandatory, but 2 of them are not, don't apply to every character in the game, only some of them. So if we actually go to the rogue roster list, so for that mission, the characters that can actually do it are, I'll try to go in order. Cannon can do it. I'll actually zoom in. He has a Gatling gun ability, which is his turret that does do damage. And go in the armory, he has C4, so he has a gadget that can do damage. C4 is a little bit harder to use, so they did kind of nerf it. But he is a character that can do the mission. Anvil cannot. He has his barricade that doesn't do damage, so he literally cannot do the mission. Same thing for Chalk, his ability is just to revive himself. That also does not benefit, fulfill the requirements for the weekly contract or mission, whatever you want to call it. Dahlia can't use it either because her ability copies. However, if she does copy someone with a passive that can do damage, then she can do it. But I don't believe anyone has a damage passive in this game currently. All the passives are just kind of like rando abilities. So Dahlia also cannot do the mission. I don't think anyone has a damage passive. Dallas cannot do it because he has his glove ability that locates enemies that does not deal damage. Dima can. Dima has the Merv launcher, which is basically his grenade launcher that deals damage. And he should have some type of grenade. Yep, he has regular grenades. These are hard to use and hard to hit with, but if you can, it will down someone, you hope. So Dima can do it, but he's probably a very hard character to do it because his grenades are not that great. And because obviously a couple patches ago they changed how gadgets work in this game, where you're kind of locked into your gadgets. You cannot pick up someone else's gadgets and use them. Your gadgets are kind of just on a cooldown now, so he's kind of stuck with these grenades, and these grenades are not very good. But he can do it, but he's not a good character. But he is a free character option, because I believe Dima is one of the free characters if you're trying to do that mission. So out of that first row, only 2 characters can even do the mission so far. So gives you an idea of how few characters can actually do this. Witch's ability doesn't do damage, so he can't do it. Gwimp's ability can't do damage either. Juke can do it. She has her drones, or her mini turrets. They deal damage, but they are damage over time, they're not instant damage like a grenade. So she's another hard character because you might have to like throw both your turrets at someone to down them to get the credit for it, and it's kind of iffy because Juke also got nerfed a little bit, I believe, so her turrets aren't as good as they were before. She has the impact grenade, which is a decent grenade. She can just throw it, it explodes on contact, and it can kill people. I don't believe the reflector can work for this one, because I know you can reflector people off the map and kill them, but I don't think that counts for this mission. But the impact grenade will definitely work, so Juke can do it, but she's probably also in the hard category, same as Dima, because her ability is not a guaranteed thing if it hits. Kestrel can do it because she also has her mini drones, or Halo drones. They do damage, but it's like a straight one-shot attack, and they go in a straight line, so they're hard to hit with. You kind of have to aim, but if you're good at using Kestrel and aiming these, this will count for it. And I believe she does have a grenade. She has the bounce grenade. Not the best grenade. It's better than a regular grenade, but harder to control because it obviously bounces. But it does do enough damage to down someone if it hits, if it's fully upgraded, so she can complete the mission. I wouldn't say she's a hard character, so she's probably been saying her as canon. She's probably an easy character that can do it. Lancer cannot do it because her ability is just to dodge reload. Mac also can't do it because he has the that light mine that doesn't deal damage. Phantom can't do it because she has the smoke. I believe Ronin can do it because she has her ballistic knife or her kunai. It's a landmine, so someone's gonna have to walk into it, or you have to hard aim and hit them with it to get the down. But I think it's a guaranteed down on hit because they actually buffed Ronin, so she can complete it. And I believe she also has regular grenades like Dima, so she'll probably be harder to use to get the grenade kill or the grenade down, but she can do it. So Ronin's another free option character that can do it. Oh yeah, so the second row, once again, only 2 characters can do it. Runway, she has the briefcase, so she can't do it, even though she has great grenades. Saint can't do it either because he heals people. Scorch can do it. She has her overheat ability. It does damage over time, but if you activate it and you keep spraying them, it does count. There's another character that kind of falls in the same category as Scorch with this mission that can also do it. But she has fire grenades, so fire grenades are also damage over time, just like her ability. So she's a hard category character for the mission, because it's kind of hard to down people with fire grenades now. We're definitely gonna have to upgrade them, and they're gonna have to you have to make sure you can get like a group of people and make sure that they stand in it long enough to down them. It's not impossible, but it's a little bit harder because she only has damage over time. Same thing with her ability. If I go back up to her overheat, it's damage over time. It's not instant, so she has to keep spraying people to get the damage ticks. And you have to down them with the damage tick, not your gunfire. That's going to be the really hard part. I'm not sure if there's any way to make that easier. Like maybe the pistol. If she overheats and uses her pistol, then maybe it might be a little bit easier to make sure you get the ability down. But because of its damage over time, it's really hard to judge when the ability is downing them or the bullet damage is downing them. So you have to be careful about using her for this mission. But she can do it. One of my friends who plays the game is currently trying to do the mission with her exclusively. So it does work. It's just not a guaranteed thing. And believe it or not, Seeker can actually do it. His ability, the arrow scanner, his arrow does deal damage. But he has to direct hit. Kind of like, not quite like Ronin's kunai, but similar, that it will deal damage if it direct hits, and it can down people combined with his passive, because his arrow is a projectile. So if it bounces off of a surface, it'll get double damage, and when it has double damage, it does enough. I believe it just does 50. So with double, it'll be 100. So as long as the person doesn't have armor, it should down them if he arrows them, but you kind of have to hard aim to do it. So if you have good aim, Seeker works. He also has bounce grenades, just like Kestrel does. So an easier time, if you can get that bounce arrow hit, then Seeker will work for you. But you're definitely in the hard tier of characters for that mission. So that's actually 3 characters in this row that can do it. And then we just have essentially one row left. Sigrid, the character that I'm using with, and I'm going to do the video on. She can do it. Her ballistic shield, it actually can do damage if you click when it's active. She does it like a shield bash melee attack that does deal damage, and it does down people. So that means she can actually use her ability to down people and complete the mission. Sigurd's also not a commonly used character, so she's usually an easy first pick if you have her unlocked to do this mission with. She also has probably one of the best grenades for this, which she has the Semtex grenades, which obviously are the sticky grenades. You just tag someone and it'll likely down them. I believe it's still a guarantee if it sticks once it's fully upgraded, so she's probably one of the easiest characters to use for the mission. If you have her unlocked, you just have to play Sigrid. I believe Switchblade can do it because she has her Chaos Launcher. Her rockets are obviously, her ability is pretty insane. Even if they walk into it, they take her special fire damage, which downs people very quickly. So she can complete the mission, and I believe she has bounce grenades. Yep. So she's another easy character that can do it. I'm just got hit with a bounce grenade to down someone. Talon can't do it. Fixer can't do it because Talon has a radar knife. Fixer has his glasses, his heat sensing glasses. Trench can't do it because he has barbed wire. Actually, because barbed wire deals damage now. Actually, I think Trench can do it because the barbed wire does deal damage, but the opponent has to stand in it long enough for it to down them. I hope the game is updated to a point where it can actually track that damage and count it for the mission. So he should be usable for it. Trench is a popular character now that they redesigned him. They gave him a bit of a buff. He also has his trip mines, which obviously downs people a lot. You have to set this up, and then someone has to walk into it. You can't just throw it at people. But Trench should be able to do it. The barbed wire is probably make it a little bit harder, so he'd be a hard tier character because the barbed wire does very little damage over time, but it does work. And then Umbro is another easy character because he has his as I like to call it, the brain spider. Basically a roving landmine. It pretty much is a down on hit if it hits someone. And then I believe he has also bounce grenades. So Umbra is another easy character to do the mission with. So every character in this row is actually an easy character to do the mission with. You have Sigrid, Switchblade, and Umbra. Trench potentially also can do the mission, so that's 4. Vi actually can do the mission, believe it or not. She's kind of a weird spot, kind of like Trench. She has her poison. The poison does deal damage. It doesn't deal damage, but it lowers your maximum health. But it can lower you down to 0, which will down you if you're at that point. So Vi would be another hard tier character to try to do the mission, same as Trench. Because her poison can down you. It's doing a weird form of damage, but it does work. I believe she also has fire grenades, which obviously can down people, but she'd be another hard tier character like Trench. Because all her damage is damage over time. So briefly going back over every character that can do this mission, we have Vi, which is 1. We have Sigrid, Switchblade, Trench, and Umbra, which is another 4, so that's 5. Ronin makes 6, Scorch makes 7, Seeker makes 8, Kestrel is 9, Juke is 10, Dima's 11, and then Cannon is 12. So out of the almost 30 characters in this game, only 12 of them can do it. So a little under half the characters in the game can actually do the mission. So this is a hard mission, especially if you don't play any of those 12 characters I named. You cannot do the mission. You literally cannot do the mission at all unless you play one of those other 12 characters that can actually do the mission. And out of those 12 characters I named, only 2 of them are the free characters, which are Dima and Ronin. I know they changed the rotations. Now we have a rotation of, I think, weekly free characters. I think they're still doing that. But I think it's only 2 characters that are free every week, and they change it. But Ronin and Dima are always free, but these 2 are very popular, high-picked characters because they are free characters. They're easy to play. Like lesser first-pick characters are Cannon. No one really plays a lot of Cannon, but he's increasing in popularity because his ability is kind of ridiculous. Sigrid, she's very low-picked character, so she's the easy first pick. Same with Seeker if you want to try hard mode. And Trench and Vi are not picked as often. Trench is picked more now, so he might not be an easy first pick. Vi should be, because she's not commonly played like Sigrid is, not as much anymore. But the easiest characters are going to be in this row: Sigrid, Switchblade, and Umbra. Those are by far the easiest. Their abilities are almost a guaranteed down on hit. Obviously, Sigrid can spam her shield to shield bash to down, and Sigrid has Semtex grenades, which is the best grenade to try to down people with. Switchblade has bounce grenades, and Umbra also has bounce grenades. So I stick with those three if you want an easy time, but those are all DLC characters you have to unlock or pay for to get them. And so just to prove it, I'm going to do a game with Sigrid and see if I get all three things done. I'm not going to split up the video. I'm just going to keep it as one video. So hopefully we can get all three. All of the 5 of the objectives for the mission done. Just to make double sure I'm on completion. I'm on 7 of 10, so if I do it right, I'll be at 8 of 10 after this game. I'm gonna keep my talking to a minimum during the actual game while I'm playing. But you can try to keep track of when I complete the objectives. I'm not sure if I'm gonna bother with like a timestamp in the video for each one. I'm just gonna be focusing on trying to get it done. Reach is actually a harder map because it's kind of a long-range map, especially for Sigrid, but I'm going to do my best to try to get the mission done. We just got our first pick Sigrid, just in case someone else tries to pick Sigrid. Had a little bit of lag getting into this game. Nope, someone quit out. That explains the lag. We'll try again. If we get a better map, it'd be great. Mexico, okay. This is a nice small map, so it should be easier to get the objectives done in this map, especially for Sigrid. The hard part is moving in close enough to do the shield bash. That's the hard part, especially if you don't have bulletproof. Now, granted, you could buy bulletproof right off the bat to start the game with, but I always go for the harder ones first, which is the melee and the grenade, before people get armored up, and increases their resistance to melee damage and explosives. So I try to do those first. So once I get into the game, I'll show you what I pick with Sigrid first. Definitely got a lot of lag again. Yeah, last person picks. All right. It's like a lot of low level people, so it should be an easier time because they're not high level. And I am using the Gundam skin for Sigrid. So because I want to get the hard ones done first, what I typically buy with Sigrid, you gotta buy a throwing axe and obviously the grenade. You get these early for people who get armored up. And then you can either put the extra point in either the axe or the pistol. I usually go with the pistol.
Eliminate the enemy to win.
But you could do the axe instead. You don't have enough money to upgrade the grenade. I wish you did. So here we go. Okay, we had a lot of lag in that room, but I think I got the pistol down. Oh, this is a laggy game. We had a really bad lag on that one. I wanted to melee down her instead, but it lagged so bad I couldn't hit her. And yes, you can throw the melee weapon and it will still count, but I have bad aim with the melee weapons and throwing them, so I don't do that. I try to just go for the swings, because you never know if someone's shooting the person you're throwing the axe at the same time. That's how this game works. Saint walked into me, so he got axed. So that should be my axe kill now, guaranteed. I messed up my grenade throw, but that's fine. It'll regen before the game is over. Hopefully I can get one more. Yeah, still laggy. The problem is you have a lot of opportunists who just go for the spray kills right off the bat. And you have to fight against those players to get your mission objectives done. That is the hardest part. Saint tried to punch me, so I guess he's doing the mission too. He has but I wouldn't suggest throwing fists. I would definitely buy a melee weapon if you're going to do the mission. Just because it does more damage than your fists. Even if you have a crappy melee weapon, I would still buy it. So far, so good. I still need the grenade down and the shield down. You just got her. That was the grenade down. The pistol softened her up a little bit, which is great.
Enemies halfway to victory.
Alright, actually gonna buy life drain. Normally I would buy bulletproof, but try life ray instead. Someone comes to the door, we have an easy down. Oh. I forgot we have a glitch in the game that's actually gonna ruin things. Because I have to go for my shield bash when glitch is on cooldown. We don't need to buy a main weapon because there'll be plenty of main weapons on the ground for you to pick up mid-game. Just use one of those to get the primary weapon down. My shield down, so that should be all of them. We'll just die here. Now we can actually start playing the game and trying to win. I'm gonna buy our main weapon.
Nearing victory.
Trying to do the right thing and shoot that trip mine so before someone walks into it. It's actually gonna be a pretty close game. So even if you lose, you'll still get the completion for it as long as you do it right. You do not have to win the game. Wish I could have killed her. That would have been nice. Oh gosh, we're getting sprayed at from all corners. Yep, we got it. They were a little bit too spray for a noob team. But of course, we were focusing on our contract objectives, so we weren't trying to get kills to win the game. You know, that is another weekly mission, is try to win 15 games. But because this one is so hard, I focus on this one primarily by itself. This screen's been lagging all day, so we're just gonna try to skip through these. And we'll check our contracts to see if we got the completion for it. And we did. We're now at 8 of 10. As I mentioned before, we were at 7 out of 10. So Sigurd does work. It's doable. It's not easy, it's doable. There's also a good chance you'll lose your game. I was doing 6v6 team deathmatch because I feel like I didn't mention that, but out of all the game modes, I feel that 6v6 team deathmatch is probably the easiest game mode to complete the contract with, because you have the most amount of players, so you have a higher opportunity to get those downs. It is going to be very laggy, so you do want to keep an eye out for that. With Strikeout and Demolition, I feel like if you get paired against like a very good team or pre-made of like a party of 2 or 3 people, they're not going to let you get close enough to them to do any of your objectives. You're definitely not going to melee any of them. If you're using Sigrid, they're not going to let you get close enough to shield bash them if they're good players. So I feel like your best bet is 6v6 team deathmatch. Don't even bother with ranked; it ain't happening. I believe contracts are doable in practice Strikeout against the bots, also for practice Demolition. But again, it is still 4v4, so you don't have the extra 2 players that you can try to hit. Also, bots have ridiculously good aim when they want to, so you might just get headshotted when you try to move in close to one of them. They're not always stupid. The bots are kind of random. So that is another option if you don't want to play against people trying to do the missions. It will work in the practice games with the AI bots, but that's also kind of iffy. So I can't say whether or not it'd be easier in that mode or 6v6. I would just go with 6v6 because you have more time, more people to try to hit. But that's gonna be it for my little tutorial video here on how to do that mission. You still have plenty of time because the missions don't reset until the battle pass ends, and the battle pass doesn't end for 30 days, so about a month. Got a month left to try to do all those weekly contracts, seasonal contracts, daily contracts, whatever. And remember, there's one more after this. I myself am still working on it, as you can tell by this video. I got to do it 2 more times to get it finished. But I'll definitely get started now. So it's definitely gonna take a little while to get this one done. If you want to try to grind it all out in one day, or if you want to try to spread it out like what I've been doing, I'm trying to spread it out, only doing like a couple each day because it does take a while. So sometimes you won't get it. You'll just have a bad game or bad matchups with the opposing team, and you just won't be able to do it. And that's a game wasted. So just keep trying to do your best. Use those 12 characters I mentioned. They're the only ones that can do it. Pick which one you like out of those 12 and just work on it. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Until the next one, I'll see you all next time. Thank you.